There, it's Ashley here for Not Too Shabby, and I have my design team project to share with you for this week. This week, I'm going to be making these cute little shaker tags. I'm going to be using the replenishment, so there won't be foam or anything like that that's die cut. It's just like a little plastic piece that you can put your bits in. So for today's project, I will link everything below so you can find it over in the Not Too Shabby shop. And don't forget, if you head over, you can use the coupon code CraftyGirl, which will save you 10% on your order. So I'm going to hold each of them up, and I did some kind of like different colors. Definitely different colors for me. I really gravitate to pink, and so these are more kind of like subdued blues and oranges and greens, and I think they turned out really cute. And the back is single-sided, so you can put a little message on the other side as well. So I'll show you, first of all, what I used to make these shaker tags, and then I'll start with the process video. So I used my black and white jelly pen. I use these for almost every single project I make. I used the Yearnex stamp black olive ink. I used the MFT replenishments. These are the circle replenishments, and it allows you to like fill them with shaker bits. They're called the circle replenishments, I believe, and it gives some dimension, so it allows there tons of room to add a lot of confetti or glitter and sequins, and it can shake about inside. Then I found these sequins in my stash. These are by Spiggle Mom Scraps, and I guess designed for her, I think, a year ago, and so I found those in my stash. They're gorgeous, so I'm going to be using those. I'm also going to be using the Doodlebug twine. This is the spring assortment, and I just used the orangey peach color. The stamp set that I used is by MFT, and it's called You Make My Heart Melt. It has a ton of cute sentiments, and I love all these wintry little images, and depending how you color them up, they could definitely be used for Valentine's Day. I'll definitely have to do some pink and red ones. That would be really sweet. Then I used this die set. It is by MFT as well, and it's called the Tag Builder Blueprint 6. I've used this one quite a bit, but I just love using it anytime I can. So I pulled it back out, and I used the dies on there. I used two different paper pads. I used the Lawn Fawn Watercolor Wishes. It is so pretty. It has a lot of really nice watercolor pages in here. The whole rainbow. It's so pretty. And then I also use the MFT plaid pattern 6x6. And this is what kind of inspired the color tones that I went with for these tags. So let's get started with the process video, and I will share with you how to make these. So to begin with, I'm just taking the Watercolor Wishes paper, and I'm going to cut out the first one, which is purple, and I'm using this die here, and it's going to cut out the whole middle part so that it just has the kind of like outline on the front. And then I'm just using my scissors to kind of poke it out. I'm going to cut one out on blue. And then I'm going to do a green one as well. Then I'm going to take the plaid papers. They are three different ones that I thought kind of matched nicely together as a set of tags. And so I'm just doing this one on the purpley orange color here. And then it cuts out the whole thing. So this one will layer up on top of it. And then I'm going to take this little piece here so that I can have that at the top part. And I'll show you how I layer it up so that it will be just kind of bringing everything cohesively together. So I'm going to put both dies on now as I put through the last two of them. So here is the first one, and then here's the little piece that'll go on top there. And then for the last one in this green and yellow. And you don't have to cut out foam or anything like that. The little replenishments are going to give us some dimension by themselves. So I'm just taking three of these, and so basically you're just going to stick it behind it and add adhesive. It's so simple. I'm going to use the Peach Sherbet and Gold Stardust to put in all of them. I think it will look nice. So I'm just adding on all those little pieces to begin with. And don't add adhesive where the circle part is, because that's where the twine will go through and you don't want to have the adhesive there. So I just put a little bit at the bottom part. And then I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm just going to put the adhesive on and like make sure it's all brought in, and then I can just set it on top of that replenishment, and it is pretty much set. So it's such an easy way to make tags. I love making these with the replenishments. It makes it so easy. And so then what I'm going to do is take some of my little sequins, and I'm just going to have them on the tag, and then I can set this part on. So I'm adding some adhesive there and sprinkling in a little bit of that Peach Sherbet mix and then the Gold Stardust. And then I can put this on, and I would definitely add a little bit more next time. I don't think I added enough to this one, but the other two I add a ton into. So there's the purple one, and I did have it off-centered a little bit, so I just trimmed off the side. So I'm just going around the outside and then adding in some of the sequins and some of that glittery stardust. And there we go. There's two. See how easy it is? Of course, this is sped up, but it was just such an easy process. I love making tags, and these ones are just no exception. So I've added in the bit of sequins there, and then I can just make sure they're all kind of brought into the middle. There is even a stitching line there, so you can make sure it's in the center of the stitching line. And then I just trimmed off that little bit there. Now I can take some twine. I'm just taking some of this spring assortment twine. This is like a pretty peach color, so I'm going to use this for adding in to the little hole. So I just fold it and then I can put it through. I look to see if I want it to be single, but it looks always cute if you have it bunched a little bit. So I just fold it in half and stick through and pull it in loop. So those are ready. Now I can do my stamped images. So I'm going to stamp out the two little cats that are skating, and then the one that has the cat and the owl as well. And now I'm going to do some Copic coloring. So to begin with, I'm using RV13 for inside the ears. And then I'm blending that out with RV11. Now I'm going to keep in mind what colors I picked for the tags and try to stay with that color combo. So I'm using YG06, YG03, and YG00 to bring in some green for the scarf. Then I'm going to use some yellow for his little coat, like almost an orangey yellow color. So I'm using Y38, Y35, and Y32. And then I'm going to add in some blue buttons and work on the little blue scarf. So I'm using B05, B02, and B00 for the little scarf. And that little owl just looks so tuckered from skating. He is so cute. In the actual stamp set, it comes with the little skates that would have been on the cat and the owl. So it's almost like they took them off to have a little rest, which is super cute. So now I'm going to use that same green color combo for the coat. So I'm using YG06, 03, and 00. And I actually forgot one of his arms, but I go back and do that part after. And then for this part, I'm just doing the scarf in that blue color tone, and then I'm also doing the little skates. So that is B05, B02, and B00. Now I'm going to do his little coat, and for the little coat, I'm going to use some purple. So I'm just kind of trying to test out what colors I wanted to use there on the side of that paper. So first I'm going to do the little scarf. So I'm using V05. And then I realized I hadn't done his arm, so I went in and just quickly finished up his little coat arm there. So I went back in with V06, V04, and V01. And I did the matching skates with the scarf, and then I'm going to do the coat in that same color combo. So again, that's V06, V04, and V01. And then I just used the blue for the little buttons. For the little owl, I'm going to do some brown colors. So I'm using for his beak E15 and also for his little feet, and then I'm using E11 and E00 for his little face and his tummy. Then for his body, I'm going to use some darker brown, so I'm using E15, E13, and then E11. And then I'm going to do the little cat. So I was just testing out a few colors for the little cats, and I decided I wanted to go kind of like with a grayish color. So for their little muzzles, I used E43 and E40. And I also did that for the bottom of that little guy's feet. Then I went in with W3 for the darkest portion of the cat, and then I'm going to blend it out with W1. So I'm just doing all of their little ears, and then I'm just going to add the dimension like around their face. And there's a ton of colors you could color these up as, but I just thought that the gray colors looked cute. So I'm just blending out all their little tails and their hands. And now I'm going to do their little face. And I'm just adding a base coat, and then I'm going to go in more darker around the outside. And I actually had to refill my marker there. It was dry. I've been trying to collect all of the refills for the markers that I have before I pick out any other new colors. And so I've slowly been collecting them. And so that was my first time filling the W1. And I had used it a ton. I can't believe how much use you actually get out of the Copic markers before you have to refill them. It's amazing. It really is. They're quite expensive, but they really are a good value, honest. And so I took my black jelly pen and did the nose and the eyes. And then I went in with R20 for the little cheeks. And I took my white jelly pen and just gave 3 little dots there. Then I added a few little polka dots there on the owl scarf. And I did the same on the little green scarf there. And then I decided to do some polka dots on the little purple coat. And then I'm going to just add a few little accents there on the scarves and the coat of that other little yellow guy. And then I'm going to go into the green one and do a little bit of polka dots there as well. And then I just add a few little accents. There's really no rhyme or reason to where I add the accents, just where I kind of feel like would accent it cute, I guess. And then I took the white jelly pen on the nose just to give it a little accent. And I'm going to take my fussy cutting scissors and trim these out. I believe there's coordinating dies in the shop for these, so I will link them below. And I just used my sewing scissors to trim them out, but there is coordinating dies if you wanted to use those, so I'll link it below for you guys so you can find it easy. And so I'm just trimming these all out, leaving a little bit of white around the outside for them. And then I'm just going to take my ATG gun and adhere them on. So it was so easy to pop these little cuties together. And I think it looks so sweet. I do like the colors that I use, but I'm really always just so drawn to pink. So it was definitely a different type of color combo for me. So I'm going to hold all of them up. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, I will have everything linked below for you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't and like this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.